few things I picked up from the lineups. Looking at South Africa, very physical, big. Biggest issue for me for South Africa is the hooker. Mbongi Mbonambi for me, I don't know. The drop off after Malcolm Marx to Mbongi Mbonambi is huge. And Dion Fourie on the bench, I know. He's not he can play there. He will be the sub hooker, but that's not his specialized position. But I just think that's a big not a big, but there's a big drop off when not a big hole, but a big drop off from Malcolm Marx to Mbongi Mbonambi at 2. The rest of the forwards are very good with it. Dwayne Vermeulen comes back in. Peter Steff starting. That's needed. Kitchoff as well. That boy will win turnovers any game he plays in. Mauvaka actually starts this quarterfinal game because of injury to, I think Mashaw hasn't been the same since his injury in the first game against the All Blacks in the opener of the World Cup. Then Jalonge, Oliver, Aldrit, just that back three can pick itself out. Aldrit has been having a very heavily strapped knee, so that's something to look out for in case of injury. And I guess that's also why they decided to go with the one extra forward on the bench just in case of injury. Then in the backs department, obviously having Libok over Andre Pollard is a big call. I feel like either one of the two things. Andre Pollard might not be 100% fit to go 60 minutes, and you've been playing with Libok over the past few months as your starting 10. No need to try and switch up too much at this stage of the World Cup. He started most of your games in the World Cup. He's been trying to get confident. Last game, he actually made all his kicks, even though there were just 2 or 3. When he came on when Andre Pollard left the field. So yeah, like I feel like it's for me, this is how you'd go. So it was either one of those two things. You either Pollard is not fully fit, or you just don't want to upset the apple cart too much and make too many changes before quarterfinal. That is something that will be dissected in years to come if you lose this game. Then the centers are that's just physicality at its, like Dante versus Dialende, Fiku versus Jesse Krill. Fiku will look to really challenge the outside channels and run at the smaller wingers that South Africa have. Like, they're very good wingers, they can defend, but they're just smaller. So that's 14 channel. I'm looking at Fiku really going at Jesse Krill and Katley Arendse, like in between them, seeking that channel and looking for an offload, either to Thomas Ramos or Peno. And after the last game, guys, I said I had my own reservations about Willie Leroux. As you can see, I said Willie Leroux should not start this, and I'm justified. Like, I didn't think he'd be dropped. I didn't think what's his name? South African coach. Yeah, I didn't think he had the balls to actually do it, to be honest. Ninaber. I didn't think he had the balls to do it. But for him to bench Willie Leroux, I think he also saw it. Like, this guy, he's not quick to get to certain spots. Him coming off the bench and bringing his experience last 10 minutes, yes, I think that works for them. But yeah. So to me, I feel like South Africa picked the strongest possible team that they could have. They have versatility in the backline. They have physicality in the forwards. They have ball carriers. They have elusive wingers. Like, it's not a one-dimensional team, and they might actually just this is a solid South African team. For France, Antoine Dupont is back. That is big. Understated how big that is. Like, this is their leader, their live wire. It will be interesting to see how long he actually plays. Is he going to play with a mask? Is he going to play with a mask and a scrum cap? What's his condition like? Then France, typical. You get a penalty anywhere within 60 meters, go at goal. That's what they've been doing. They've been playing pragmatic rugby. Even when they're expected to win 96-0, the first 10 minutes they're getting penalties in the opposition half and they're going for goal. That has to remain the same. At the end of the day, if after 60 minutes South Africa get 5 penalties and you get 5 penalties, chances are France will make their 5 and South Africa might miss 1 or 2, and then they'll have to bring in Pollard. So you just have to front up, use your forwards. The thing about France that I'm really worried about is that they have a lot of players who are like half injured, half, like Gregory Aldred, for example. Like that guy's knee has been strapped the entire tournament. Like Dupont, his face. Marshall is injured. They just have lingering injuries that have threatened to derail their tournament. So it'll be interesting to see how they play this game. They have a lot of quality in their forwards. Their back three, for me, the combination of Oliver, Aldrit, and Jelonch might be one of the best back rows that you'll see in world rugby. Physical, not afraid to go into contact, always gets over the advantage line. Defensively, they're also not dominated. They can actually dominate. Like if your ball carries are weak and you run straight into them as opposed to running into space, they can really dominate you. So for me, that 6-7-8 combo of Jelonch, Oliver, and Aldrit will really determine how well France do in this game. Sia Kolisi, captain, is there. Chances are, again, he's just going to do like his normal 60 minutes. They have Kwara Smith on the bench. Interesting. But he just brings something different, right? And he's also an option of when he comes on and maybe there's an injury to the back line, from his sevens background, he can actually cover those wide channels. So yeah, I looking at it, my prediction is I think France will beat South Africa because of two things. I am not a fan of the hooking duo of Dion Fourie and Bonambi going up against France, and goal kicking. I mean, it's just they need they need to get those two things in order. The hooking thing, there's nothing much they can do. Malcolm Marx is gone. But for goal kicking, Mani Libok has to be on his game. Biggest reason as well, obviously France are playing at home. We all know France have moment of madness in them. Just from seeing how they've been coached, I'd like to give a lot of props actually to Fabien Galtier, the French coach. The way the team has been coached, they're showing a lot of resilience, a lot of togetherness, and a lot of discipline. Like, they're quite disciplined. This is one of the more disciplined French teams you'll see. Like, even when you go as far back as what's the name of the Fijian lock who is half Fijian and played for France and hit someone with an elbow, got a red card, and basically cost them their tournament. Like that, those moments of madness I'm yet to see, and I don't see anyone in this team who has that level of craziness. So that's good, and yeah, I just think they have a more solid team. They have been playing well over the past 2 years. They've been waiting for this moment. For them, it's tournament or bust, right? Like, to win the tournament. They have a slightly more balanced bench as compared to South Africa, and just a bit more quality on the bench. So I think France will win. I think France will win this game by like 4 points, and yeah, set up a semi-final date against the winner of England versus Fiji. And yeah, that's my prediction for the Rugby World Cup quarterfinal game of South Africa versus France. I'm so confused today. Anyway, that's it. Peace.